Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is Mike's Talks and Thoughts here, back again with another video for you guys today. And today we are going to be diving in deep here with Mayans MC. Of course, the Mayans MC Season 4 weekly reviews was a big part of my channel last year, and that is going to continue this year with Season 5, of course, dropping on May 24th. I'm going to be keeping up with weekly episode reviews for you guys, and this is the final season of Mayans. They have announced this in the past couple of months here that this is going to be the last season of the show. So in today's video, I will be talking about 10 different things that I would like to see done on Mayans for wrapping up the show, and storylines that I'd like to see, how they should end it, and just kind of my overall thoughts on what I think that they should do moving forward to, of course, bring a positive end to this series and give the fans something to ride home about for the conclusion. You know, its predecessor show, Sons of Anarchy, I feel like had a very well praised and loved finale, especially by the fans, I would say. And I'm hoping that Mayans can deliver the same way here with its final season. And of course, going into these 10 different reasons here that I have for how I want Mayans to end, these aren't really ranked in particular any order, just kind of my thoughts. Like I said, just 10 things that I thought of what they can do and how they can best use their time with what they have on screen to give us a satisfying season 5. I do think that Mayans, I feel like every season has gotten weaker and weaker. So I'm really hoping that with this season, you know, we're going downhill and then just peaks with the last season, of course, and giving us a great cap off to this series and improving upon, of course, season 4 and making this the best season that they can. So the first thing that I want Mayans MC to do here for this season, and of course for season 5, is going to be wrapping up the SOA War within the first half of the season. This has been a plot point for a long time now. We have had this at the end of season 3, moving into season 4, and now it's going to be bigger than ever in season 5 with just the aftermath of season 4 and, you know, Coco's demise and finding out about Packer and Packer's son, the Meth Mountain guy who, like a lot of us theorized, Isaac was a part of SOA. And I think that is going to be intriguing. You know, this is something that they've built up, like I said, for a while now. But we got to remember, this is the show about the Mayans, not Sons of Anarchy 2.0. We need to finish what storylines we have left with the characters on Mayans. We want to see these characters on Mayans and focusing more in depth on them and diving in deeper. And, you know, the war is going to be a lot of, you know, action, a lot of crazy scenes, but we need to get the characters just done right and have great conclusions for them. So I would like to see the SOA War sort of wrap up earlier on, just so they have enough time to build a solid foundation of building these characters as we approach towards the end of the season and, of course, the end of the series as well. Number 2 here is going to be giving Marcus Alvarez a proper send-off here. Marcus, of course, is one of the fan favorites from SOA and also in Mayans. He's probably my favorite character on Mayans. I love Marcus, and we need his character to have a proper send-off. You know, at the end of season 4, they sort of had him go off with his family here, and I think that is a great way to sort of wrap up Marcus' story. They need to tie everything together with the Mayans and the Galindo cartel. And one thing that I hope that the showrunners don't do is, of course, kill off Marcus Alvarez in this last season for a cheap shock thrill or something like that. That is just going to be a very poor decision here, especially for the hardcore fans here that, of course, love Marcus and have been with him since the start. Give Marcus Alvarez the proper send-off that he deserves for all of the great moments he has given us in this universe and just doing him justice. And my number 3 here is going to go back with point number 1 that I made, and that is going to be focusing on the characters and their stories. Now, we of course are going to be following Easy and Angel, but I want to see these stories wrapped up as well for these smaller characters like Creeper, who is in jail, Hank, who had a really big part in season 3, not so much in season 4. I would love to see more on him and just wrapping up his story, and of course Gilly as well. These characters just need the proper time in the season to have their stories come to a natural conclusion here, and giving us more to care about with those characters in the Mayans MC charter here. Just doing them justice, giving them the time that they deserve. Of course, we know that we're going to follow Easy, and they're going to focus on him as he is the main character. But don't forget about these side characters as well. Like, for example, Chibs and Happy and Tig became so huge, especially by the end of SOA, and developing them more and more. I absolutely love that, and I love to see them do that here in the final season for Mayans. Number 4 is going to be having Bishop go out like a badass here. Now, of course, Bishop, another one of the big members here in the Mayans charter here. Of course, stepping down and being phased out for Easy being president, but Bishop was very much rumored to get killed off in both season 3 and season 4, and I think that this is the proper time to do it. Someone who, unlike Marcus, doesn't really have a family or anything outside of the club to really fall back on and go to and give him that proper send-off. I mean, they could definitely do something to where he could be phased out or, of course, hang up from the club, but I think that just going out like a badass is the Bishop way to do it, whether it's in the SOA War, whether it's another conflict going on, or just something to where Bishop can have a badass moment and just stand out and have more amazing scenes, and of course bringing us a badass conclusion for his character. Number 5 is going to be giving Galindo's story time to wrap up as well. So of course Miguel was one of the biggest characters in Mayans, and season 4 he definitely had his moments, you know, starting of course in the bottom and of course rising back to power here, and of course his story with Emily, which I think me and a lot of the people have just not been a fan of, and that's a storyline that I feel like should have wrapped up. You know, it's been going on for seasons now of the whole Miguel versus Emily dilemma here, and that's something that they need to focus on. Of course, just giving that time to develop here for the last season and giving that a proper conclusion, whether that's phasing Emily out entirely, having Emily get killed, or having her go back with Galindo, whatever they decide to do, just give it time to develop, give Miguel his time to rise back, and, you know, I could see him getting into a big war with the Mayans, and of course, I think the Mayans are going to prevail. This is their show, and, you know, having Galindo go out like that, I could definitely see that, and it's going to be a wild ride, but just please give Galindo the time that he deserves in this final season. Number 6 here is going to be don't forget about Felipe. Of course, Easy and Angel's father, Felipe. He is a character that I feel like is very under the radar, and he's meant to be under the radar. But man, don't forget about him, man. Give us more on Felipe. We get to learn a lot about his backstory, especially in the first couple seasons. And he plays, I would say, a bigger part in those seasons for sure. Definitely give us something cool with Felipe to do, you know. It feels like these last few seasons he's kind of been on the back burner, you know, trying to sort out his family situation, dealing with, of course, the whole situation with Gabby, and then Easy and Angel, of course, going off the rails. But just give us time to have great Felipe moments, and, of course, like with all these characters, giving him a proper conclusion, something that they can give Felipe to do, give something for him to strive for, and again, a character I think that they desperately should keep around till the very end. Next here is going to be talking about Easy. Now, in my opinion here, Easy does not have to go out like Jax did, But whatever he does in the season, make it impactful for the charter. Whether it's, dealing with a new competition here, phasing out another one, taking up this new leadership as president, doing something that's impactful for the club, leaving the club, whatever they decide to do, just make whatever Easy does a beneficial and positive influence, of course, on us, the audience. And like I said, he doesn't have to, of course, go out like Jax did and meet Mr. Mayhem or anything like that, but he needs to have something that is going to prove why he was worth following all this time, why he is the main character, why he is so important to the Mayans and their rise or fall, depending on how they decide to go with this final season. Number 8 is going to be, do not introduce any new major plots or characters in this final season. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to be like, well, I love major plot lines and, I want to see something new. But there is so much like already that I've mentioned between the Mayans and their members, Galindo, Felipe, and I haven't even gotten to some of the other characters that they need to address here. They're just not going to have enough time here to introduce anything new that's going to be big for the story here. Just focus on what you have at hand, what you've been building up for, laying the beginning in seasons 1 and 2, building the middle with season 3 and 4, now with these end here in season 5, building and finishing off the stories that you have been telling. And again, just focusing on what you have at hand. Do not press the issue of trying to come up with this whole new big group of characters, or again, like just say a storyline involving Easy that's outside the club, or even Easy with another woman. I think that they've done that already in season 3 and 4. And do we really need to see Easy, of course, dealing with relationship problems? I don't think so. I think we need to see more of his impact with the Mayans. So definitely just keep it to where we are wrapping up the stories we have already been telling. Number 9 is, how will Adelita and Angel do moving forward? And this is something that I do want to see addressed. Of course, I just mentioned other characters, and that is going to be Adelita here. I really want to see what they're going to do with Adelita, Angel, and their kid. Are they going to, be a family? What's going to happen with them? Give them some time to focus on that and do it right. Do them justice. And Adelita, has been sort of in and out throughout the entire show. And I think that she needs to play a major part in this final season as well. Give her the time with her kid, and of course, giving her a proper send-off as well. I think that she's someone who's come from such a tough background and tough upbringing in the world that she has formed for herself, that, she's someone who I would love to see make it to the end and finding ways to better herself and her community, and, raising the son that they have. And for the last point here, number 10 is going to be, end the story or give it a conclusion to where it can be a bookend for the SOA Mayans universe, but also leaving the possibility for future projects here. Now, I have voiced a lot in my videos here, especially older ones, that I'm really not big on sequels and reboots and revivals, and I'm always for, creating something new and expanding that universe as much as you can and doing as much as you can with that universe. But I love a lot of sequel shows, Better Call Saul, Mayans like we're talking about right now, House of the Dragon, and many more like that. I love it. I love those shows, but there's also the really bad sequels out there that many people know about. And I think that they need to just give the opportunity for this to go either way, whether they want to continue with this universe or having it be a good bookend for wrapping up this entire world that, of course, Kurt Sutter built. And I think they have a really good chance of doing that really well. And like I said, just giving something that us fans can feel emotional about, take away from the series, and of course, connecting it back with what they wanted back when the show first started here, being the show about the Mayans and their struggles, trials, tribulations, and their experience within an MC. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it here for 10 things that I would like to see in Mayans Season 5, or sort of ideas that I have for Mayans to keep an eye on here. I will, of course, like I said, be coming here with the weekly Mayans Season 5 reviews. I hope you guys are going to enjoy those, and we'll definitely come out with a Season 5 review once everything is concluded, as well as a series review for all of Mayans here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care, and peace out.